Yeah, and I was inspired because I work my ass off on my shoulders. That's like my thing. I want big shoulders, and I'm like, this guy's freaking getting jacked, dude. He said I was looking at his rear back double bicep pose in one of his before after pictures, and I'm like, this mother effer is like dropping weight and putting on some major size on the shoulders. So that I was super impressed, like right off the bat with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a byproduct. I wasn't even, looking to do that. So, it's a plus, and I'm proud of it for sure.
Today, we have a very special guest on the show. So, guys who are over the age of 40, we've got a 42-year-old young individual here with us. If you've been wanting to lose body fat and build muscle, which they're going to tell you, some people are going to say is impossible to do, today we're going to show you how it's done by interviewing you, the guy that has done it already in the first 7 weeks of our program. He's already in the Ultimate Man Summer Shred. He's a father of a dog that he's very proud of, and he's also a husband. He also has a medical dispensary that he's in charge of and responsible for. This guy's busy, but he makes time for what he wants most. His why is strong. We're proud to be his coaches. Coach Aaron Jameson's here, myself, Coach Lawrence, and today, Matt, we're calling him Boulder Shoulders because he's been putting on the weight. Banahan is with us in the house, and today's going to be an amazing episode. So if you want to take notes, please do. If you want to just sit and listen and enjoy these pretty faces, please do. Here we go. The show, the interview with Matt Banahan. Welcome to the show, brother.
Hey, how are you
Welcome,
guys doing?
welcome. Yeah, buddy. Boulder
I love it.
Shoulder Banahan.
Boulder Shoulder. Have you ever had a nickname in the past, Matt? Has anybody ever given you a nickname that had anything to do? I mean, I don't know if you're training MMA and stuff like that, or have you ever had a nickname in the past?
Um, Banana Man,
Okay,
Banahan, Banana Man. So that's the,
Mhm.
that makes
that's the way to
sense.
go.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
Fitting,
All right.
fitting.
yeah.
You don't look much like a banana man anymore, though.
Uh,
The Boulder Shoulders definitely sounds more like the real deal now. If you
definitely.
guys get a chance to see before and after pictures of Matt, which we're going to probably reveal at some point in the journey, whether it be in the episode here or somewhere down the line when he finishes our program, you'll be blown away as much as we are. Absolute incredible consistency, determination that he came in with, and he said, "You show me what to do, I'll do it." Here we are today, so that's awesome. Coach Aaron, you want to start firing the first questions out and get things going today?
You betcha. So, question number one, what was the moment that you knew you wanted to join the Ultimate Man Summer Shred program? What was the thing that kind of like the tipping point for you, basically? Can you remember anything in particular?
Yeah. Well, I kind of hit a plateau in my journey. I had lost about 45 pounds, and for about 5 months or so, I kind of just, stayed at the same weight. Um, I lost a lot of weight, but like I didn't like the way my body looked or felt. So I knew I was missing something. I saw you at the gym, and I knew that you offered, personal training, and you know, I looked on Facebook, and you had posted that you were looking for, men over 40, looking to get shredded for the summer. So you know, I figured, I wanted to do it.
Mhm.
Because pretty much throughout my journey, I was just doing everything on my own, and I knew I needed, something extra. So this was an opportunity, and I felt like I should jump on it.
Awesome. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
I just want to say that there's a lot of guys out there, Matt, that I think you just hit home with when you were talking about being stuck at a plateau. You had already lost 40 pounds, like, which is amazing, man. Congrats. And then to come into a program and say, I need help, that's the first factor. It took your step. And then you got the help you needed, but you used that information. And just for disclaimer here, not typical of results in like any given program. We can't make claims unless they're actual. He's lost 18 pounds in his first like 7 weeks of our program. That's factual. That's actually what he's done. And we're not making a claim there. We're saying that's what Matt did, which is pretty friggin' amazing, dude, after already losing like 40 or 45 pounds, like you said. So I just wanted to highlight your accomplishment there for a second because I missed that in the intro that you not only did lose weight, but 18 specific pounds. And we've been tracking your body fat and your muscle mass. So we got a really good indicator of where those pounds are coming from, which is amazing, man. So yes, very cool. He got to see Coach Aaron in the gym, got inspired, got some help, and boom, here we are. Great
Yeah.
questions too. Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I was inspired because I work my ass off on my shoulders. That's like my thing. I want big shoulders, and I'm like, this guy's freaking getting jacked, dude. He said I was looking at his rear back double bicep pose in one of his before after pictures, and I'm like, this mother effer is like dropping weight and putting on some major size on the shoulder. So that I was super impressed, like right off of the bat with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a byproduct. I wasn't even, looking to do that. So, it's it's a plus, and I'm proud of it for sure.
hmm When you
Yeah.
came in, because you said you weren't looking to do that, Matt, what were you looking to do? What was the main goal when you first walked in?
Um, you know, when you look in the mirror, you want to you want to look and feel, a certain way, and I like the paddleboard. So when I
Hmm.
go out paddleboarding, I want people to be like, "Damn, look at that guy," just I want to be presentable. I don't want to, I'm not getting any younger, so I want to, look fit and be fit. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I
Good
remember
little.
sorry, I remember you had a specific body part that you wanted to work on, and I know a lot of guys out there it hits home with. What was your specific part that was troubling you in the mirror?
Oh, well, mainly my love handles and my belly.
Mm.
That, and they always say that's the last to go and the first to come back. So I really wanted to hit that hard. So yeah, get rid of it.
Beauty.
Yeah. Do you remember your stats offhand of like how much you've lost just on the belly fat so far? Or just
Not off the
ball?
belly fat so far, but like the visceral fat, I think I've lost maybe 3 or 4 pounds or percent. So
Hmm.
it's
Mm.
a good amount, So
Yeah. Yeah, the visceral fat being the deep tissue organ fat is actually one of the most dangerous ones for people
yeah,
because it's so deep rooted behind the abdominal wall around the organs. And so, from what I understand, the way that the scale we're using measures that, it's in cubic inches, which is if you've had that come down a couple numbers in cubic inches,
yeah.
that's very impressive amount of body fat in visceral term, which
Well,
is
that's the
awesome.
case. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
that's really good, brother. Very good. I love it. Now, also, just you were talking about you wanted to look fit and you wanted to feel fit. And then on our calls, I know Monday nights we always talk to you about where you're at, where you're going, and we kind of guide you. But can you share with some of the people just a few of the compliments that you've gotten? Because your goal personally was to look fit and feel fit. But have anyone else noticed and tell you that told you what they see?
Yeah. It's kind of interesting. You know, I I seem to get like more compliments from guys. Like guys, or at least they express it to me more
Mm,
often. But I also get a lot of compliments from girls too, which is always flattering.
hmm
So yeah, like I show my coworker who's really into fitness himself my like first set of pictures to my most current, and he said, "Yeah, man, like especially in the last month and a half, like, I knew you lost a lot of weight and been skinny, but you definitely like put on a lot of muscle and been getting, really cut." So, um, you know, it,
Yeah.
that like, he was like, "I saw you in the back room lifting a box and I could see your tricep, muscles and everything really defined, and it feels really good to hear that, especially from people that really try to work out themselves. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Great little ego boost, right? I mean, we always talk about the health benefits of getting back in shape and all of that stuff, which is super important too. But it doesn't hurt to have just a good, plain old, simple little ego boost now and then as well. So
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's
And then just
deserving.
my energy in general, they notice that too. They see like, I'm a lot more active, a lot more focused, and you know, productive in general. So yeah.
I like that, man. I'm writing notes as quick as I can here, trying to take Matt's information down, and these quotes and these statements, they're so valuable for us as coaches. They're also like letting us know we're doing the right thing with you and we're helping guide you the right way so it fits into your lifestyle. And
Sure.
to be able to bring it to work and see the performance carry over as well, like lifting boxes and things like that, because that's something that's valuable to you. I mean, you've got to work to make your living and you've got to provide your service to people who need it. And to be able to do that with quality and confidence and get compliments while you're doing it is quality of life, man. That's freaking awesome. So you're earning it. I love this. So a lot more energy and performance is good. Right on. What else, Coach Aaron? Where are we going next?
Let's dive into some, what were your kind of like overall impression of the program so far? Maybe some of the things that have been most helpful for you or that have kind of stood out. That maybe like if you've ever done any other fitness programs in the past, like kind of want to what sets it apart from the other things you've tried type thing.
Honestly, like this is the first program I've done. So as far as for fitness, I mean I've done like you know, training groups, like MMA and stuff, or, Taekwondo in the past, but in sports teams and I've done strength training, but like as far as a program, this is my first one. I feel like especially in the time we are now, like with social media and just technology, I felt like the way you had it set up, it would be a really good you know program for me to do, especially the way you have it set up as like a team or a group. I think having the support and accountability, with other teammates or peers, however you want to say it,
Yeah.
is very important. I like the fact that the program is set up with apps where you could track your food intake, water, workouts. You have different routines for stretching, for meal plans. So you could even track your sleep, just everything in general. It kind of covers all the bases, and it really allows you to succeed. So
Mhm.
I'm happy to be a part of it for sure.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love that testimonial because it talks, to the people watching our podcast right now and listening to this interview and wondering, well, what is in this program? You basically gave it all away right there. You get access to all these habit trackers that make the biggest difference in all of your outcome, right? Like
Yeah.
you've worked out before and you hit a plateau. You've tried to eat good before, you've hit a plateau. And for the first time, you're tracking all those measurables. You've got an app and an accountability and a brotherhood of guys holding you accountable. And every week we show up and cheer each other on, but we also look at the progress and you get a chance to see that that is a bigger mover than anything. There's no one diet, there's no one workout, there's a plan in place, and you're seeing phase changes and everything. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's part that you're actually enjoying, because I think there's a lot of people out there wondering, how do they keep you accountable and how does it work? And I think a lot of guys out there, especially, don't tend to jump towards a group thing. They think that's they're more like lone wolf. I'm going to do this myself. And that's
Right.
kind of probably where you were before when you were doing it on your own. I could be wrong, but were you kind of in lone wolf before and now, happy you joined the pack sort of thing?
In general, like I keep my circle small,
Okay.
so I don't really, I am a, I'm an introvert, but I'm social as well. But
Hmm.
especially when you're not comfortable in your skin, you kind of don't want to put yourself out there like that. But when you're in a group with like-minded, men, that are in your same type of situation, you feel like the criticism is necessary, and you need to get that support from one another, to help you know progress in your
Right.
journey. So I definitely felt like it's a right situation and group to be in.
That's beautiful, man. I'm glad you put it that way too, because I think a lot of guys who sit on the fence are just unsure about that group thing, and and you've really put it at ease, I think, for the listeners. So that's awesome. That's really good, and we're proud of you for how you've done it too. What are you most proud of so far in the program, Matt, for yourself? What have you achieved that you're really most proud of so far?
The thing I'm most proud of is um doing it. The thing about it is that at my age and everything, like it sounds like a midlife crisis, but I like to say it's like a midlife catch up.
Okay.
Like I want to get back to where I am and where I should be. And I
Mm.
feel like what I'm most proud of is doing it. Like, yeah, I just needed to invest in myself and really get to where I needed to be. And it's not just physical, it's mental as well. I my self-esteem has gone up, just everything. Um, I've been a lot more productive. Um, like at the beginning, you were introducing me. I'm also going to school, so
Right.
I'm doing that. I'm getting certifications on the side. Work full time. Take my dogs on exercises every day, along with putting time for myself to go to the gym. So I stay very busy and I have a wife to deal with as well. So, it's a busy schedule, but I'm hitting a home run, I feel like, my energy is there. Usually like, before I would come home from work and I'd be exhausted and not really have the ability to do these other things.
Mm.
So I think I'm most proud of you know, doing this program and just taking advantage of everything that comes with it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Better answer than I expected. Most people like might pick one thing they're proud of. Oh, I'm proud I lost some weight or whatever. That was a hell of an answer, brother. And I think it's relatable on so many levels. I love that you went into family, you went into work balance there. You're proud of all of that just by stepping up. And I think you used the term investing in yourself. I think that's really important. People need to realize that if you're buying a coach, you're paying for a coach, you're buying a program or whatever, you're investing in getting that help and paying for speed. Because how fast does it happen for you, really? I mean, we're 6 or 7 weeks into the program and you've already seen such a change in your life. That means that you're paying for speed, really. The knowledge and information that Coach Aaron and myself are able to bring to you and because of our experiences, right? We've all paid for coaching in our path. So I think it's really important to use the word invest. I think that's really the best way to frame this. Really nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and your knowledge and experience is definitely something that I wanted to gain myself. So
Hmm.
and that's something that I could keep forever. Outside of this program. So
Yeah.
I felt like it's definitely important.
It's amazing.
And you can really
Beautiful.
see it too. Like you just, I mean, I see him every once in a while at the gym, and he's got a new pep in his step. He's got the new swag. Like you can tell, he's a man on a mission now. He's more driven now, and you can just see it in his overall aura, and it's freaking awesome. Like, yeah, it's super cool.
That is cool. You just made me think of something too. You said you got that swag. So Matt, when you go to the gym now, compare it to when you used to go and you were just following whatever program, because I don't know what you were doing before, but you said you hit a plateau. So you must have had some kind of program you were doing. Maybe it was something you built yourself or you got somewhere. How do you feel different now when you go in and you said you've got the app and you've got a program? Like what is the difference there in the way you approach the gym?
Well, before I would work out by myself, and I still kind of do, but like I would just run through all the machines, and I would just do that every day. Like there wasn't really a structure. I would just go one by one through all the machines, and now I'm doing the free weights, I'm doing deadlifts, I'm doing all these different exercises, but I'm training my full body, the
Hmm.
proper way. And using the app, I'm able to rest properly in between days, and really hit the exercises and workouts the way I should. And
Beautiful.
my body's reacting and to that.
Yeah, because Coach Aaron put it as like this new swag, and I think that's where the swag comes from, is the confidence of knowing that you're well set up and you've got like, I know what I'm doing today. I've been a coach in the brick and mortar industry for a lot of years. Like that's where I spent most of my career before we came online. And I literally, it was painful as a trainer to have to watch people come in and just wander around from machine to machine, like you said, and not really sure what they were doing and try this, try that. And most of them were there to lose weight and they were spending time on little one part, single movements and hoping that was going to cause weight loss. I mean, we're so far from getting, what what they're looking for. So it's really important that you frame it in a way that was like, where were you then, and where are you now with the programming? Even just the knowing what you're doing in there, I think is a big confidence builder, and we can see it. Like in your like Coach Aaron said, it's a new swag. It's awesome, man. Looks really good, almost as good as your beard.
My Amish beard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
Right on. Good
chin
stuff.
strap. That's what my wife calls it. The
Chin
chin strap.
strap.
That's right. That's kind of where I go to, the chin strap style. Coach Aaron's a goatee man. He's rocking that goatee for many and many a years from what I've seen in the back in the pictures.
Oh, dude, I'm never shaving this thing off. I got such a baby face. I look so funny without this thing.
Coach Aaron got me in trouble with a few people. They've said you need to shave. Coach Aaron's all nice, clean shaven, and you look like you got a bushwhacking beard going on. So I was like, next episode I had to shave it all up and try to fit in with the crew. Right. Where do you want to go next, Coach? What do we got for him?
Let's see. How has the program helped you overcome any obstacles or plateaus in your fitness journey? Was there anything you might have been really struggling with previously that now you're just kind of like, oh, I got this shit now?
Um,
You kind of went over one just there. Sorry to interrupt, but I mean, you kind of went over one just a second ago, just
yeah,
like
yeah.
more structure to your workouts,
Yeah, I was
basically.
about to say that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the plateau was just not having the experience and knowledge and the structure. I feel like, once I had that, I kind of had the syllabus, and I was just, able to, just go through it and kind of, you know, I treat it like a job. I go in, I hit all the tasks, and then, you know, uh, check out, and then
Yeah,
good to
Punch
go.
the card.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, I think that a lot of guys out there hate their job.
Mhm.
And they're going to be like, oh, dude, you treat it like a job. That's so painful because I hate my job. But
Oh
you're
well.
actually a business owner and you love your job. You're actually providing a service. So, I mean, you see it as something that's good, it's beneficial, but you're also talking about like a checklist, right? You got a certain amount of things you need to achieve today, check in, do your tasks, and then you can check out and enjoy the rest of your life. Is that kind of how you're framing it?
Well, yeah. I mean, as far as a job, it's not like a job, but I feel like you need to be consistent, and you need to
Mhm.
really invest in yourself. So
Right.
to do a program like this, you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And you,
Nice.
and you have to budget your day out. So planning is very important, especially in this program. So you want to plan your day out ahead of time, and set the time aside for the gym, or your home workout, whatever you need to do. And you
Mhm.
know uh, do it the right way. And that's why I said it's kind of like a job.
Yeah, yeah, no, it's good because I just wanted them to understand anyone listening to that and making the correlation and how you wanted that to come across. Because I know, like I said, a lot of guys don't enjoy their job and they'd be like, oh man, if a gym's is another job, I don't want it. I can't do more jobs. And here's a guy who's got a lot of things on the go, plus owning, his own business and still making time for that workout because treating it like a job is also a responsibility that you give yourself. And that's a good thing. Definitely a chance to grow. And obviously the results are not only aesthetic and looking, like but your performance, your mental health. You've talked so much about like how it built your confidence, your self-esteem. A lot of guys out there need that right now, and they know that they need it, but they don't know what the missing element really is. And it's you sitting here telling them that like you were in that same boat. This is super cool. So you can make it
Yeah.
a job and make it an enjoyable one.
Well,
I,
I manage the dispensary, but like, I have a boss tell me everything to do. So it's kind of
Okay.
like, but yeah, I definitely, I'm super busy. So,
Hmm.
to have, a program like this, and make it work, is, very important to me.
Mm, perfect.
Yeah, I like the term. I like to say a lot. You need to track your KPIs, guys. So KPIs is like a term that is used a lot in our entrepreneurial world. It means basically track your key performance indicators, your KPIs. So that's
Hmm.
like you're saying, you need to treat it like a job. You need to treat your fitness and have that commitment level to be able to see like where's your starting point? What are those metrics that matter the most that you're tracking on a regular basis to see that you're heading in the right direction? So I think that's kind of along the same lines of, like you said, treat it like a job, like give it priority that you need to.
Well, if you start slipping, then like excuses come easy, and then you really fall off track. So you really need to stay consistent and be on the up and up with your body and mind. So you want to take care of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're full of quotes, man. I love it. I'm just writing down all these Matt Banahan quotes. This is fantastic. We've actually showcased you a few times in some of our social media posts, and we said, like these are some of the quotes from Matt on the nights that we've spoken. Because every Monday night we have a call. How do you feel coming into the weekend, knowing that you've got a call with us on Monday? And most times people on the weekend really blow it, man. They go out with the boys, they party, they have, just tons of alcohol and chicken wings, whatever else they're having. I mean, it's like it's UFC night or whatever it is. They go out and they have a really good week of progress, even when they're trying, and then the weekend just falls apart. Does knowing that you're going to meet with Coach Aaron and I on Monday keep you sort of a little more accountable, or has it changed your weekends at all, or have you found balance? Tell us how you're dealing with that.
Well, well, my weekends are on Tuesday and Wednesday are my days off. So so on the actual weekends, I'm working, and then I go to the gym, and usually I'm one of the only people in there, and they have motion lights, so I'm half the time in there in the dark by myself, just pumping it out. So, I really I thrive off that. I like that.
Uh-huh. That's cool. So your
And
weekend
I feel
isn't.
like while everyone's partying, I'm pumping iron. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And so do you work on Saturdays and Sundays then? Like when most
correct,
people have their weekend, you're at work?
yeah.
Okay. So that's a little different in schedule, I guess, making it a little bit, unrelatable to some people who have the normal Saturday, Sunday. Because I know that a lot of clients fall off on the weekend. So your weekend is Tuesday, Wednesday, you said. Um, Puts it
Yeah.
in a pretty safe spot where you can pound out the weights, get your workouts in, and stay accountable. Do you have any circle of friends? You said you keep a small circle, but do you have any of them who try to pull you out of this and try to say, "Hey, Matt, come on, just come have a few drinks, and let's have a couple pizza nights and whatever else." Do you have that sort of influence, or are you not affected by that at all?
No, well, a few of my friends, we get together on Thursday nights, actually tonight, and we have like a dinner together and watch a movie or play video games or something, for
Mhm.
a few hours. So we have that time, but they acknowledge what I'm doing, and they might have some like he might make some chicken parmesan with a lot of pasta and stuff, and he'll have a grilled chicken breast for me, keep me
Okay,
on track. Um, no, they're very supportive.
good.
Yeah,
Awesome.
birds of a feather flock together, and I'm not trying to be around the people that want to drink a lot or do heavy drugs, or anything like that. So um and I want friends that are supportive. I don't want friends that kind of want to like see if they could pull one over on me, So,
Right?
so
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's great. That's a great answer. And Aaron and I always talk about community. Like we really push from the beginning our forum and our communities. We've got free Facebook communities for our viewers. Like we want people to have a place to go and find people like yourself, Matt, who are driven individuals who really want to succeed. And then, to hear from someone like you who's actually in the trenches, man, you're doing the work. That's like the most valuable information that someone could get when they're sitting back at home wondering what to do next, short of getting the coaching themselves. Like that's is definitely a good value to them. So knowing guys like you are in these communities is such a reason to get into them and be surrounded by people, like you said, who aren't trying to one up you, but they're trying to support you and encourage you. So that's pretty cool, man. Your buddy even makes you your own chicken breast grilled and everything. I wish I had those friends.
Right.
That's awesome. Coach Aaron, where do you want to go?
Let's go with this one. What would you say to someone who is maybe considering, joining a coaching program like the Summer Shred Ultimate Man program, and they're just a little hesitant. They're just kind of on the fence, and they're like, I'm not really sure if this is for me. Do you have any words of wisdom that you would give to someone that just needs a little bit of a shove?
Well, I'd ask them if they're happy with where they're at in life, and what their goals are. Like, where do you want to be? And are you willing to put in the work?
Mm,
Because this is something that you really can't be on the edge with. you really have to be all in. Um, so like, if this is really what you want, then you need to pull the trigger. You need
Hmm.
to get in and jump in head first.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
earlier you said you can't be 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I thought that was a pretty
Yeah,
cool quote because a lot of people do try to straddle the fence that way, right? I'll try it
yeah,
out because what we tell you, Matt, it was 12 weeks, I think, when we started, right? But we said
correct.
that's just the beginning of your journey, brother. We're just getting you set up for success, right? Like there's
Yeah,
going to be a lot.
it's a lifestyle.
Hmm.
You really have to change all your habits and eating patterns, and you know,
Hmm.
re- you know, uh, I'm extremely happy right now, and that this was a huge part of it. And I want that for everybody.
Hmm. Hell yeah. This guy's
Yeah.
awesome. I love this.
Still getting amen on that.
Amen for sure. It's true. And again, sometimes it sounds cheesy or cliche, like I want everybody to succeed, but there are people who genuinely do. There's a lot of negative dudes out there who are like, oh, whatever, everybody says that shit. But there are people like Matt, which I know I can tell because we've spent 7 weeks together now, or whatever it's been, to really get to know you. And you are genuine, man. You do care. And I listen to you talk to the other guys on the calls as well. And you genuinely listen and you care that they're making progress. And it's just like Coach Aaron and I. So I don't doubt that there's somewhere inside of you a really great coach developing, who's going to be either it be for your wife or your like people in your family or whatever. I know a lot of our clients who get results obviously take that information and apply it to their family life as well. Has your wife noticed any changes in the cooking of the food and things like that? Is that your job? Do you take care of that, or does she do the cooking? How does that work?
I do 90% of the cooking and everything,
Okay.
and but she definitely sees it, and she's proud and very supportive, and
Hmm.
that's what you need in a partner. So I'm very fortunate to have that.
Nice. Does she like your cooking?
She loves it. Yeah,
Right on.
yeah.
That's awesome. Good stuff.
Nice.
And a lot of guys out there too, we always try to think, okay, well, we're Ultimate Man podcast. We talk about things that guys talk about, and sometimes we push the limits a little bit and talk about things that might not be the most comfortable. But have you noticed any changes in your testosterone levels, your libido, and maybe even things your wife might notice, like action in the bedroom? Has any of that improved or changed since you started your program?
Of
And if you don't
course,
want to talk about it, that's cool, but I know you're an open book.
all the above. It's just like I said. Your energy goes up. Everything, your body changes for the better. So you know um these are all perks of the situation, and it's all about being happy, and happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Can I write that one
True,
down too?
true story. True story.
Yeah.
I love it. That's great, man. And I love that you're open book, Matt. That's cool. And then for those of you who don't know, again, you're learning Matt right now, but Matt's been a fan of the Ultimate Man podcast and watched pretty much every episode we've ever had. So he's been taking in our course information, but also everything that Coach Aaron's ever spit out on an episode from the beginning of time. So I just want you to know that you can start as a listener to our program and then work your way up to investing in yourself, and then you could be sitting in Matt's seat one day. So it's just there's an evolution and a progression that you can be damn proud of, and you've worked hard to get to where you're sitting right now, Matt. So we're stoked to see what you're going to do in the next 6 weeks or so, 5 or 6 weeks. You're literally only at the halfway point, and you've done some pretty amazing things. So Coach Aaron was saying that the program specifically has had some impact in your life, and we kind of asked you about your work life, and now we've asked you about your family life carryover. You've talked about your circle of friends, and you've talked about your energy levels. How is that correlating in things you love to do? Like you said, paddleboarding, something you love to do. Have you had a chance to get out on the paddleboard and see any of this play out?
Yes, yeah. From doing like lunges and stuff like that, I've noticed my balance on my boards a lot better. Um, and just in general, like my I don't get tired as quickly. I'm able to fully enjoy the day, and
Hmm.
take advantage of my time out on the water.
I love that. Is there any specific goal on the water? Like, do you race on a paddleboard, or do you do it just for
No,
leisure? Or are there competitions you can enter? I mean, I'm not so super familiar, but could you look and see it? Like, is there such a thing as like paddleboard racing?
There probably is. You see more people doing like stunt tricks on the paddleboard and stuff like that. But that's not my thing either.
Okay.
It's more of a hobby, relaxing, just enjoyment.
Okay.
Just be out on the water.
We'll make a race out of it. We'll go to Blue Lakes and we'll go from one side of the lake we'll race to the rope swing and back. How's that? We'll make a little race out of it. That
I'll
sounds
see you
fun.
there.
I'll
Yeah, let's
see you
do
there.
Better line up.
it. Let's do it.
There was zero hesitation in him in accepting that challenge. I
I
love it.
know, yeah. He'd kick my butt on a paddleboard, no doubt.
Yeah. Yeah. Coach Aaron will have to race along the bank using the bike and the
Yeah,
mountain
yeah,
bike. One on the
yeah.
water and one on the land. You guys would be a perfect triathlon
Just
team.
gotta look out for the boulders.
Oh
Yeah, the
yeah.
boulder shoulders. Nice.
That's amazing. That's so good. Coach Aaron's keeping track of our questions today because we came in with like 18 things we wanted to ask Matt, and
Yeah.
I haven't been striking them off the list here. So, Coach Aaron, what else have we got that we haven't covered yet?
I don't know. I was just looking through them, bro, and I think we've kind of like, bounced around a little bit and I think covered most of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing because a lot of times in conversation, which we want our podcast to be, good conversation, and we do want to cover a lot of things, but we try to just kind of like let it flow. And sometimes we just, like Coach Aaron said, we'll start talking about things that cover three or four questions at once. So I'm looking through the list here, and it says, how do you see yourself continuing to implement the lessons and strategies learned from the program in your future? So let's just try to envision, say, 12 weeks complete. You've gone and you've finished the next 6 weeks. What happens for Matt Banahan then? Is he a new man? Has he got a new lifestyle and it's on autopilot ready to go? Do you think that'll hit a plateau? And then it'll be time to be like, what am I going to do next? Or do you feel like you've got coaches here that you can count on? I mean, what does the future look for you after 12 weeks?
Well, I think the lifestyle change is there, but just like in anything, that there's always new things popping up. There's always some stuff to learn.
Hmm.
So, you have to be a sponge, throughout your life and take all this stuff in. You don't know everything. Um, you know, th this program is very valuable in that, I've got a really strong foundation and, to live by. And then
Hmm.
I could, build off of that. And, this program builds off of that as well. So, a big thing is like the steps I took to achieve the results that I'm at right now. Things don't happen overnight. You have to slowly implement all these different things from your nutrition, to meal planning, to your workouts. There's different ways to work out. There's max load, there's hypertrophy.
Hmm.
There's just different ways of doing things. And once you kind of learn the ways of these programs or routines, then you can really build off of it and have a new life for yourself.
Hmm. That's good. And I'm listening to you kind of frame it in a way of where you're understanding the periodization model a little bit. There's different phases of training, and you're kind of seeing the future of knowing that when you hit a plateau, you can make a phase change. You can change modality slightly. You can maybe use different exercise protocol. We've talked about things like tempo. We've talked about, different variables of intensity. And you're learning a lot of that now, which you like didn't even realize existed back when you were just going from machine to machine around the gym, right? So that's part
Right.
of that swag. I think it's all coming.
Listen, before this, like I would wear a hoodie. I would eat like one big meal a day, and I thought if I just, cardio it out and just, burn all these calories, that's all I needed to do. And that's completely the opposite,
Oh, wow.
and and I see this at the gym. I see guys going in with a hoodie and just wear it out on the elliptical or the treadmill. And you know it's something that you know needs to be brought out to everybody. I think this knowledge needs to be learned by everybody, and this program offers that.
Yeah, great, great. I remember seeing Matt at the gym, at the old gym before it closed down, and I was like, and I would see him just a cardio machine with the hoodie on, for tunes blasting, just going for days. And I'm like, oh man, I just got to get a hold of this guy. I got to get a hold of him, show him a few tricks, because I saw the dedication and the fire with them. I'm like, this guy will put in the work and do what needs to be done. He just needs to tweak his shit a little bit. So I'm so glad that we got him as one of our victims and sponges.
One of our victims.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome. And the fact that Coach Aaron, you're such a good coach in a way of like being able to pick out talent. I think of like sports teams, they send scouts who actually look for talent. And you were looking for something that was kind of deep rooted in the desire that he had in the first place. Because you can teach people pretty much anything if they want to learn it. People can get good at anything. People don't realize their potential till they start involving themselves into something. And if you have a good coach and a good teacher, they'll teach you how to do it right the first time. You won't make a lot of mistakes doing it, learning from them. But in the base of it all, you can't teach heart and desire. You can't teach that passion. It's really difficult. So I'm cool. I think it's very cool that you scouted that out in a sense of seeing this guy doing the wrong modality, but he had the right enthusiasm and the right passion. So that's pretty cool. Do you remember those days, Matt, where you were doing the hoodie stuff and you actually saw Coach Aaron around, kind of like watching you or
Oh
coming
yeah.
to talk to you for the first time? What was the first conversation you guys had ever like? Do you remember?
Uh, he was like, "Hey, Banahan, right?" And, yeah. So, and I know him. I mean, it's not hard to spot out Aaron Jameson. I mean, come on,
Right.
So,
He used to train in my
yeah,
gym, my MMA gym, for a little
yeah,
bit too. I think he used to do some jujitsu back in the day. So we've known each
yeah,
other for quite a while. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
cool.
And
Cool.
back then, my shoulder was popping out all the time, and
Hmm.
that doesn't pop out anymore. So, yeah,
Wow.
That's huge. That's
it's
huge.
very huge. Yeah,
That's
it's
a
a big deal.
freaking life game changer right there. If you're a guy out there listening, you've ever had a wonky shoulder, I've had mine in a sling, torn rotator cuff several times. If you get that shoulder healed up and you're back firing on all cylinders again, it's a brand new freaking life. I'm telling you.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I didn't want to have surgery or anything, and yeah, I worked on it, especially working out, and then right now, like doing this program, it feels very stable and strong.
Awesome.
Hmm. That's amazing because again, a lot of people go to physio for years and spend tons. I mean, a lot of times insurance covers things, but a lot of money is spent on physiotherapy at a very slow rate of movement. And not to say that there's anything wrong with physio, but it's a very slow progression. And in our program, without really trying, we've been able to physio to some degree what you were doing, and you're having like no more pop on the shoulder. I think that's amazing. And again, we talk back to quality of life. You're able to do your job. You're able to work with play with your dogs. You're able to paddleboard and get all those things you love back in without your shoulder popping out. That's like,
Right.
it's freaking amazing. So
That's
that's cool.
awesome.
I wanted to know though, you guys were just talking about MMA gym, and well, obviously on the Ultimate Man, we talk a lot about MMA and fights and upcoming fights and things like that. But did you ever compete, Matt, or did you do any rolling on the mats and stuff with anyone on the team and stuff like that? How far did you go into that?
No, I didn't compete, but I wanted to, and then yeah, it just didn't work out that way. But no, I just like being in that team atmosphere and
Mm.
working out on yourself. So
Cool. And
yeah,
so, can I just stay on the MMA thing for a second and
I
say,
love MMA. Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. Can you give me like your top three fighters, absolute favorites of all time? You can go back as far as you want, or you can come up to like whatever the newest fighters are. Who would be like your top favorite three?
Well, my favorite's Dan Henderson.
Oh,
So,
good one. Good one.
Didn't see that coming. All right.
he I mean he's a true BMF. He fights anybody, anywhere, anytime, any weight. He fought Fedor Emelianenko at heavyweight, and
Damn, right.
so he's my guy. I love Dan Henderson. Let's see.
That big right hand, dude. He's got it cocked and loaded, and you know it's coming, but it still
Yeah.
gets you.
And the thing is, like, he's not a trash talker either. He just, he puts his money where his mouth is. He writes those checks and cashes them. Um, but Justin Gaethje, he's up
Oh,
there. The Diaz brothers, but you know, I met Benson Henderson, and he's probably one of my favorites. He all around, he's just a great guy and a great fighter. So
Yeah.
I like him a lot. Um,
Where'd you run
it's
into him at?
I went to International Fight Week in Vegas and I met
Cool.
him, got his autograph and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, and then probably Fedor Emelianenko. Unfortunately, I saw him lose against Fabricio Verdum
Hmm.
at San Jose, but yeah, he's one of my favorite fighters. You know, just like Henderson, he doesn't talk trash, and man, he just puts it out there, and you know, he fought some people you thought would just destroy him, and he just murdered them. So
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
That's a
His
cool. Go ahead.
his pride reign was just like crazy. I forget how long he was champ, dude. But you ever
Yeah.
watch him when he was in Pride? It was unbelievable, dude. He was just a
I remember
phenom.
seeing, I think it was Kevin Randall, like dropped him on his head,
Mm,
and he came back and just dropped him. So you know,
yeah.
yeah, during his Pride era, that was awesome.
The I was looking for common denominators in this list of guys here. We tend to do this, and we kind of look at favorite fighters, and you've heard us do this on podcasts with other guests that we've asked, and we look for commonalities in the fighter versus the fan, and why we choose certain people. The one thing I started seeing was the Henderson. And there was Ben Henderson and Dan Henderson. They're totally unrelated, though, I believe, right? They're not related at all.
Correct.
I'm like, you're a fan of the Hendersons.
Yeah.
So, but what was it about them? Like, as you said, anywhere, anytime, anyway, Dan Henderson, he was a guy who just accepted challenge and went at it, didn't matter what it was. And I think Gaethje shows a lot of those similarities too. He's
Definitely.
like,
Yeah.
I'll go to
And
war.
none of them talk trash. You know,
Ah,
they
Yeah.
just, yeah.
now, and again, there's no trash talk, which is kind of like, again, we're kind of going back to the personality of you as well. You just kind of like, you're a humble dude, a pretty normal, humble dude, but you're getting your confidence up and you're feeling better.
Yeah.
And you mentioned the Diaz brothers in there, who
Yeah.
I guess in their own way can talk a lot of trash, but they do it in such a subtle and quiet, peaceful. It's kind of weird watching the
Well,
Diaz's talk trash, right? How do you
well,
feel
they're,
about
they're
that?
just they're just straightforward, you know. They're not going to come out and go after you. But like if you poke them, they'll be like,
Hmm.
they'll let you know they're there. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true, true. That's awesome. And then you mentioned Benson Henderson again, super, super nice guy from what I've seen. I haven't met him, obviously, but very peaceful dude, great fighter, had a great run in different organizations. And I remember his battle with Anthony Pettis because that whole run off the cage shot became famous. Running up the side of the cage and throwing that Superman punch was pretty amazing. And it was unfortunate that Benson Henderson was on the receiving end of that, but he's done some amazing things. I remember watching him with Rafael dos Anjos, and there's some great fights in the past. But
Yeah.
he doesn't come across as a trash talker either. But he's got a lot of other skills, and I think more in that technical, scientific side of things. And again, that's, we kind of look at it between Coach Aaron and I. He goes after these aggressive finishers, hardcore, like get it done right away. I'm more the chess match, scientific, like I like that study breakdown. But we all kind of appreciate the art for the different values it has. And when I see Benson Henderson in your list, I think that might be one of your most scientific guys on the list who really like if you had to put him into the breakdown of the fight, I think he's your analyzer of the group. So yeah, you got a little bit of everybody in there.
Definitely. Yeah.
And if you were going to be a fighter yourself, who would you most likely be like?
Man. Okay. Uh,
I mean, you can pick
Imagine.
anywhere you want to go too. Like, would you be more the ground grappler or would you be a stand-up striker? What part of the game excites you the most?
I think I would be a stand up, and then if something went awry, I'd probably take them down. But
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. As far as specific fighters, me see here.
That'll be your homework. You'll have to ponder that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, yeah, I'll have to think about that one.
Marinate
Yeah.
on that one for a little bit.
Yeah. The fun part of that one is just like when we start our programs, we always ask people to kind of envision your super self. Coach Aaron's framed this super self term, and what will you look like at the end of the program? What would you picture yourself as when you get to the finish line? That's why I wanted to ask that question. Is we have never asked that of a guest before, but like, sometimes we'll ask, who do you similarly see yourself like? But who would you actually be when the time came, if it came? And it's kind of that envisioning your future, and it's just having that vision board of what you might achieve, and it's exciting. It motivates you. It almost makes you like, I want to go to the gym and train today because I want to turn into that. Like it sometimes can be a mental motivator for sure. That's why I just want to kind of give you that framework, get you some wheels turning. Who would you be? Would you
Yeah,
be an Anderson Silva stand-up striker? Would you be, so just something to think over.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fun. Good stuff. And then, of course, we got more fights coming up. We try to stay up to date on the most recent fights and things that are coming. And so we'll be putting bets on the line in our Ultimate Man program as we did last time. And we'd play some bets. Matt, you were in on the Gaethje Holloway fight. You were I think you had placed some bets on that. Which way did you go again? Were you with Justin Gaethje to win that?
Well, I like to do parlays, and you don't need to put a lot of money down on parlays. So, I covered both bases there,
Okay.
but I definitely thought Gaethje was gonna come out on top. But that spinning heel kick to the nose at the end of the first round kind of like leveled that.
Changed the
So,
Yeah.
game.
but
Yeah.
yeah, no, it was an excellent fight, and I love Holloway.
Mhm.
Especially at the end, pointing at the ground. Let's throw down in the middle.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. He drew the line in the sand, Dan Henderson style, and said, let's do this.
Yeah.
I
No,
love it.
but back to your question, I think if I wanted to be a fighter, I probably want to be like Robert Whitaker.
Oh,
He's well-rounded all around. So
okay. Nice.
yeah,
Nice. There you go. And so there you go. So you get the wheels turning, and sometimes you come up with an answer, even when you don't think you have one, right? So it just takes a little time to let it ponder, which is super cool. And that's good. So, Coach Aaron, I know we've covered a ton of questions. We're probably around our hour's worth of conversation already that we try to bring to each episode. Any other specific things you wanted to know about Matt, or you feel the men watching our show right now might want Matt to answer?
I just our three questions we ask every guy at the end of the episode. I think if you want to rock and roll with that, I just want to say it's been a pleasure having you on, brother. You're an inspiration. We love having you as one of our students and sponges, soaking it all up and actually implementing it and getting some fantastic results. And I'm sure you're going to be a tremendous inspiration to some guys watching this out there. They're just like, hey, I'm ready to be ready. I'm ready to be all in for the win. Let's do this. I'm gonna, hit my goals and crush it. So I appreciate you, brother.
thanks. I appreciate. Or it's been a pleasure being on here. So
Mhm. That's
thanks again.
super cool. So, all right, so let's do this then. As we always do, it's my favorite part because Aaron and I get to sit back and let you do the talking. So I'm going to hand you the microphone. And knowing that this is online forever, you get to leave your lasting message, to what you want to leave with the guys out there. What would you say it takes to become the best version of yourself? In our terms, the ultimate man. And we're all trying to become the best version of our ultimate self. So, what do you think it takes to be that person? And what message, maybe one, two, or three things you'd give a guy right now listening to this that they could start taking action on? What does it take to become the best version of themselves? The mic's yours, brother. Tell us what you think.
I think everyone's got a different path, but we're all given one body, one mind. So you need to take care of it, invest in it, and the ultimate goal is to be happy. Be happy with yourself, who you are. You know, you're be happy in the skin that you're in. So however you do that is up to you. If you're willing to put in the work, definitely take advantage of this program and these coaches. They're great people. That they got the knowledge, the experience, and they're here for you. So I appreciate it. And yeah, if you want to be the ultimate man, here you are.
Right on. I
Yeah.
wrote down one body, one mind, and chase happiness. I think a lot of people chase aesthetics, or they chase performance, or they try to move into one specific mode of mastery. And you're saying, you know what? More importantly, the top of that pyramid is happiness. And that's a super powerful message, man. I love that you left everybody with that. That's really cool. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's sitting with me.
Yeah, it goes back to what Matt was saying earlier. It's like our program encompasses it's an MMA, a multimodality approach. We don't just cover fitness. We're going over nutrition and mindset and sleep optimization and like happy wifey, happy lifey. Like it's a multimodality approach. You got to throw all this shit together to make it work. So great
Mhm.
way to put it together.
I love it. That's good. And we've also been working with Matt, as we do with all the guys in the program, on hydration because that's a really big part of getting your result that you're looking for. So, as always, guys watching the podcast, we're going to raise a toast to the Ultimate Man podcast. We're also going to raise a cheers to Matt and all of his results 18 pounds down and counting in body fat
Yeah.
reduction while building muscle mass. So, if you say it's not true, now you know it is. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Cheers. Boulder shoulder, Banahan.
Celebrate the wins. Every week we stack them, and this week we just stacked another one. So we thank our listeners for being here, and don't forget, like Matt's going to tell you, what do we tell them all the time, Matt, about hitting that button?
Get it.
Subscribe,
Get it.
right?
Crush it.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe, like, share, do it all.
Matt's he's actually very good and very handy on social media as well. So any of you who want to follow Matt and his journey, I think we can reach out to him on Facebook. Are you on Facebook, Matt, and Instagram, and under
Sure.
your name?
Yes, sir.
There you go. So anyone watching the podcast, if you love Matt and you want to get in and follow his journey, you can do it there. But also come and join us in the Ultimate Man. We've got a free Facebook group. And then, of course, you can reach out to us in the Get Coached link if you want to really get into our program and do what Matt's doing. So don't sit on the sidelines and just cheer along. If you want to get in the game, get in the game. All right? So on that note, we will see you all next week with another episode of our podcast. And Matt, thank you so much for being here, brother. This one's about you and all your results. So bring it in, boys.
Have a great day, guys.